Hey Libra, this is for the month of February 2024. It's just one element of what might be happening for whoever this resonates for in the month of February. So, again, there's going to be different elements that come through money and finance, like I say, career, all of those things. But right now, what seems to be the main thing that's coming through is just elements around still some battles, I would say, and even around finances, although kind of holding your own. Um, I know all the cards aren't completely visible here. Sorry, just going to try to turn this up a little bit. But anyway, what I see here, regardless, is that we are looking at some battles for sure. There's some competitive qualities here. Definitely leaving some things behind emotionally just to sort of transcend some of the difficulty. There's another card, a couple of cards here on the other side here, which I'll pull forward as well, but for the moment, just because of lack of space, I'm just going to deal with what I've got. Just trying to squeeze in a few extra reads for you before the end of the year. All right, so again, when we're looking at the star card, of course, a very positive, optimistic card. So I feel like you're starting out February with more of an optimistic mindset. So definitely speaks to, feeling like there is a reason to look at things from a more positive mindset. So there must be something here that kind of warrants that feeling, right? The star is still a card of healing. It's also kind of healing some of our feelings. And part of that might be because you're turning your back on the things that you couldn't control around the emotional space. When I'm looking at the Eight of Cups next to the star energy. So maybe I'll just pull it forward that way. So, again, overall, the star energy is keep the faith, stay on your spiritual purpose, a peaceful kind of quality um, about healing and going forward. Future looks bright. All of that sort of comes to mind. The reason why I'm not seeing it as a complete mood shift to this fantastic feeling of enlightenment and all of that is because there's some battles that are going on here. And it's almost like there's a competitive nature or quality around your feeling space. So there might be some arguments here, some heated arguments, some harsh words. Nobody's winning. It's not that kind of battle. It's battles that are just kind of going on without any real resolve. So it's something like, um, feeling as though you maybe the way that you are healing is kind of spacing, taking that space and putting some space between you and the situations could be something along that line there as well. But either way, there is, still kind of a sense of renewed energy coming through there. Eight of Cups is that energy of. Sorry, I got my kitty outside there. Anyway, the Eight of Cups energy is also feeling a little bit empty here. So, emotionally on some level, but maybe healing from that space. So it's almost like you've gone as far as you could in a particular situation, and there's some kind of disappointment or disillusionment around it, but you're starting to pull yourself up into more of an optimistic, positive sense there. So again, a little bit dissatisfied here with the Eight of Cups, but also in a situation where you're starting to feel a little bit more optimistic about, healing yourself or however you're healing yourself. There is something there that speaks to that emotional healing either way. Okay, then, and so again, you're putting some space between you and whatever the situations are to be able to heal. Because when the next card gets here to the Five of Wands, it also speaks to a shift. And the shift is a new cycle or some kind of progress that's being made there. Um, there has been disappointments emotionally, again, because there's more battles on that front, but it definitely speaks to something that needs to change there. Something needs to change. You're holding your own, but again, the battles are not really won so much as they are just endured. The Seven of Wands definitely speaks to, something having more options maybe available to you, like you're able to kind of grasp from different areas to sort of figure something out. But again, it's almost like it's just maintaining maintaining something. Your main energies are all, except for the main energy out here is the major arcana as the star card. So the cards overall for the period of February are definitely those of being more optimistic overall. But everything else that sort of follows is kind of minor arcana. So of course most of the battles are dealing with, competitive emotions. Could be some internal struggles there as well. Definitely some, holding your own kind of energy, but again, nobody's really advancing or winning. It's almost like you're just maintaining the uh, same kind of energy, and you're still trying to heal through it. Like I said, Seven of Wands is definitely that feeling of you've got to win, or you feel like but yet you're not really winning. Because there's a strong reaction here, with all that energy, where there's sadness, there's disappointment, there's competition, there's jealousy, there's anger. So there's definitely a sense of really feeling like the battles aren't being won, they're just persisting. And so it feels like it's a repeated battle. In other words, something that just keeps rehashing. Not really learning from them in this particular month so much as just keeping your head above water and trying to heal from the things that are said or the things that are, kind of around you at this time. Um, Again, you are still using certain levels of things to your advantage with the Seven of Wands. It definitely still speaks to battles, like I said, but there is a sense that there is going to be some kind of spiritual connection and a little bit more advancement in that way that's coming through, not only just from the star card, but also with this combination here. Sorry, I guess you can't see the other one here, but the Knight of Cups next to that Seven of Wands. So there is a certain level of spiritual wisdom that is coming in there, some kind of an action that's taking place or a realization of some sort around your feelings. And certainly there is a feeling of lack financially, and certainly there could also be self-worth issues emotionally that are coming up in this area. But either way, there is a certain level of resistance that's still being maintained. So regardless of all of these back and forth sort of emotional challenges in the month of February, I feel like overall you're kind of moving through it, not without some degree of challenge, but either way, the Knight of Cups is still in the upright position, uh, above, over and above that Five of Pentacles, which is where, some self-esteem issues and all of those things are kind of taking a hit. Again, financially, some challenges, but still working on or continuing on some kind of even a passion project or a connection with somebody. Could be 20s, 30s that could also be dealing with issues around self-esteem, things of that nature. But the Knight is still moving in the right directions, moving in more of a positive direction. So, as I said, the Knight of Cups is still development emotionally. I would say that it's kind of a battle to get to that space, though, but the focus is definitely still on emotions. And it's still approaching responsibilities, that kind of thing, but it's almost a sense of you're not on the same wavelength with other people in this particular in February, or at least as part of the read. I'm not saying this is the only energies that are out there for them. That's why I'll do other reads for the month of February, but this is a predominant one. So there is still that sense of still a sense that emotionally, you're still leading with a path with a heart. You're still going after something that is important to you emotionally. But again, I would still say there is a sense of having to change your beliefs around money, around yourself, or around self-esteem issues, something along that line. Because the Five of Pentacles, like I said, even though it's a minor arcana, there are two fives in the read, even though that one is a clarifier. And there's also disappointment. Sorry, there's three fives. So there's some big underlying changes taking place there, because the Five of Pentacles is, having some damaged self-esteem, having some damaged emotional elements you're having to deal with either way. It's kind of a setback or a tough time. There is a setback energy here as well, but maintaining, but it's like a setback, and then you kind of have to get back into whatever it is to keep going forward. But either way, you're mobilizing your energy, you're holding your own, but again, you're just feeling not supported. um, I'm not seeing a lot of worry so much as I'm seeing battles, and emotional challenges. Again, could be destabilized in and around your emotions by feeling ignored, or feeling like there's a lack of something. It could be, again, lack of money or things along that line. But emotionally, you're still on top, you're still taking action with that Knight of Cups. So there's definitely some good cards here with the Seven of Wands, still have the upper hand over all of this. But again, you've got 3 5s here. So again, there is some kind of hardship or insecurity, something that's kind of leading to a little bit of apprehension either way. So there is going to be some kind of significant shifts when I see 3 5s. So, and it does seem to be in around finances, in around, um, just checking, communication issues, and again, a sense of competitive qualities, jealousy, that kind of thing is very much where the areas need to be kind of addressed. That's what the things are that I'm seeing, um, that need to have some shifts, need to have some kind of a change. Otherwise, there's going to be a bit of a, I don't want to say upset, but there is going to be some things there that you're going to have to deal with. So you're going to have to reevaluate your priorities, because again, there's some levels of low self-esteem, financial issues, the competition. There's feelings of being stuck in a few different areas here, and that could be, blocks that you'll have to deal with further out. Like I said, 3 5s here is kind of, even though they're not the main cards out, it's still a warning of, some setbacks. Could be in around relationships here, because I am seeing a younger person here. Not so much. It seems like there's a lot of emotional, maybe more struggles individually, because I'm not seeing a lot of people in this in particular. But it's almost like you need to step back from everyone, and kind of accept some things here. Like I said, there's definitely a shift of some sort, because there is 3 5s. You may not be dealing with them all in one element. It might be just some of the elements coming in, and because I've got the clarifiers further out, so you're going to be dealing with that even more so, I would say, beyond February. But there is some turning points here, like I said, um, some shifts that need to be made for sure. Uh, Yeah, I'm going to do more of a career, money, finance, I think, a little further out on this one too. But like I said, it just feels like there's some challenges here with that Five of Pentacles, and the Knight of Cups. I would still say that it's suggesting that there's going to be some sudden financial challenges, that you might be dealing with. There could also be some issues around, um, I don't know if I'm seeing disconnected financially from something here at all. I'm just kind of looking at it for just a minute here, but it certainly does feel like there's a certain sense of isolation. There's a certain element of, trying to find a creative solution to problems for sure, with the Knight of Cups there and the Five of Pentacles. And again, I did sort of put it off to the side a little bit more here, but it's, you're still taking some, with that Knight of Cups, it's still focusing on your intuition to help you provide for those physical needs. It's, trying to put some concrete steps into motion with the Knight, taking some action, right? So again, I still feel like you're still relying on your emotions, um, something emotionally that you're attached to sort of find that balance or tap into that emotional intuition, that kind of thing. But either way, there's some level of trying to stabilize it, and you do still have the upper hand, lots of cards here. So it doesn't feel like anything's without, beyond your control, anything like that. But Still kind of speaks to some big challenges there for sure. The other card was the Seven of Wands, and again, that was with the Five of Swords. So there might be something around you here that could be people that are challenging you, where you feel like you have to be a little defensive, or that you feel like there's disagreements around you and you're kind of opposing whatever that other point of view was or points of view. But you're still in the upper hand of things. You still, again, feelings of defeat, where you're not really feeling like you may have proven your point, or at least expressed it in some way, but it doesn't feel like it's actually some kind of win, because the conflict still persists. And it's not a hopelessness card, but it definitely feels as though nobody's really moving forward because of whatever the confrontation was either. Even despite you're facing the conflict and that competition, again, you're still struggling to kind of, defend yourself and all of that. So, again, it's not really any sense of resolving a conflict. It's more just going through the challenge, and kind of maintaining a certain position. Um, Again, when we get to the Five of Wands next to the Four of Cups, there's emotional challenges there as well. Could be battling other people, but again, there's almost like a sense of competition that leads to hurt feelings or emotional distance. Again, it puts you back into that space of pulling away from things and feeling emotionally dissatisfied or bored or disinterested, or just, not in any way connected to the situation. So, in other words, you are kind of having to reevaluate something. So, you're pulling away from this conflict, whatever that environment is for you. But it feels like whatever the struggles are, whatever the conflicting feelings or thoughts that you're dealing with at this time, you're still moving forward. You still have an upper hand. You're still kind of in the space of insight into your emotions, all of that. You're still taking action. But again, there's some heavy energy around it. That's all. So again, when we start out with a star, which is our main card and very positive. So the star card definitely speaks to hope in the situation overall. And it ends on the same with the Knight of Cups. So it definitely feels as though you are still in a space of self-awareness. You still have some guidance here. There's depth to your emotions. Like I said, it's just overall feeling as though you are still on top of things. You're just not in a space of feeling like anything was a win, or that there was some sense of um, advancement. So I think that's probably the best way to leave it for now. Like I said, I will do some other reads on this one further out, but it just feels like you do have some emotional things to kind of deal with. And again, there's going to have to be some shifts around your finance, some shifts around the way that you communicate. And again, even with the Five of Wands, I mean, these are all still energy. It's 3 5, so it's significant enough to make some kind of a change or require some kind of change. You're going to have to steer yourself away from, these battles, the disappointment, because otherwise it's just going to culminate into a blockage of some sort. So again, there could be some sense of putting too much time and energy into this rivalry or into these, spaces of conflict, that kind of thing. It doesn't feel like it's going anywhere to do it. So basically find another way around it. Could also be sort of easily triggered here as well. But again, it's competition and struggles that aren't really just, it's arguments, it's irritation. It's something that's just not really advancing you in any way. So again, you're kind of putting your energy out there without any kind of victory. So I would guard against wasting too much energy in that direction. Um, yeah. So keep moving forward on that basis. Like I said, there was another card that kind of fell out that I thought I would still maybe read to you anyway. Um, it was actually in around the Knight of Swords, I believe, is the one that came out. Um, Yeah, I think it was the Knight of Swords actually. So it felt like you needed to still, remain strong and certainly clear thinking. But like I said, there's something there about just kind of watching where your energy goes because it just feels like it's not in the right space. But either way, okay, I'm just going to put this out there. Again, just ending it on a positive note here with the Knight of Cups. A lot of imagination here to sort of creatively get through, a lot of intuition that's coming through there too. There is going to be more of a positive force that is, or, optimistic. Emotional, the power of your emotions is very strong in this month. So it's almost like you could temper that down or take action in a more productive way emotionally for the month of February. But overall, I would still say just guard your energy from anything that's going to be depleting you because it doesn't feel like it's going to be in your best interest. So again, don't put too much time and energy into something that is not going to be to your advantage or healthy emotionally for you. Either or. Yeah, so we'll just leave it at that, and we'll address this one back again in February just to see where things are at in terms of money, career, all of that as well. But right now, just try to temper your emotions. And it's always good insight just to try to do that a month or two in advance if you can. Meditation practice, do things that kind of put yourself in a space so you're better prepared for these kinds of challenges before they hit you. Anyway, keep moving forward. Never give up. That's what I have for you, Libra, for February 2024. Just a short caption. Again, I'll do other reads too as well, just to see what other energies are circulating. And it won't all speak to you all in the month of February. Some of it will be further out.